Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer Treasury Consulting. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multi-asset and multinational hedge fund. By multi-asset, I mean we actively covering our positions in multiple asset classes. By multinational, I mean we actively covering at various locations. But I did repeat it many times and I would continue to repeat all the times that is no third party. No third party can invest capital in our funds. Take a note of that. Prediction is the most difficult thing you ever do. But I strongly believe that God select very selective people to make predictions. And it's their duty to go ahead and warn the world. In 2018, when I spoke about the startup model, many Einstein, Edisons, Newtons came in public domain and said that, this prediction is incorrect. As we speak, there is hardly any startup who is not cutting the jobs. Please be note that if startup name not coming up in the public, that doesn't mean that he is not cutting the jobs. Do take a note of that. Even today, Philips, one of the best names in electrical market, one of the best corporates in the world, they cut approximately 6,000 jobs. Mark Zuckerberg today gave a hint that Meta would be cutting more jobs. Of course, we need to wait whether the hint is in right direction or whether the hint is in wrong direction. Only the time would tell. If you look Twitter, then you will see that the Google employees, around 12,000 Google employees who asked to step down, they are sharing their emotions, they are sharing their pains, their grievances on Twitter. The scene is more or less same of other technological companies without quoting any specific name. But today it's not about the startup. Today it is about the sector which I would like to highlight. From the last 3 to 4 days, I am doing my research on the aviation sector in India. By aviation sector, I am focusing on companies like Indigo, Vistara, Air Asia, Air India, SpiceJet, and few other international aviation companies like British Airways, Lufthansa, United Airways, Etihad, Emirates, and all. To be honest and precise, I am not yet done with many international airlines because time is always limited and it would be taking 2 or 3 weeks to cover the international airlines, but I am done as far as the Indian airlines are concerned. And you would be very surprised to know that in this video, I won't be naming any specific Indian airlines, but I felt very sad when I look at the annual reports of these airlines or accumulate some data from the internet about Air Asia and Vistara, reason being they are not listed in India. Indigo, which used to be a jewel, Indigo, which used to be a profitable company, a cash-rich company, is unfortunately is in huge losses. And I fail to understand that why Indigo debt is accumulating at a much faster pace. I'm not giving any figure of Indigo debt. You can go visit their website. Please download their annual report and check yourself. But unfortunately, if I compare the figure of that debt with the March 2021, March 2011, which is around 11 years down the line, then I really feel scared that, and when I look at the profitability of the aviation sector in India, I fail to understand that now we do not have an excuse of Corona. Okay, 2020, I understand that we are having an excuse. So it's a genuine thing, it's a real thing. It took almost 6 to 7 months for the aviation sector to completely recover from that mess. I completely agree with that. There is hardly any denial from my side. But now it's more or less over. More or less over. Right, business travel is going on, domestic travel is going on, vacations are going on, even the cricket matches are going on. We just had the soccer international game. We had many international cricket series which are going on. The IPL is going on, and many other sport events are going on, which means the travel is free flow. So why Indian Airlines are in losses? For what reasons Indian Airlines accumulated huge debt in their balance sheet? And guys, please do understand that debt at the end of the day brings something with himself which is called finance cost. And the meaning of the finance cost is that the debt which you are accumulating, you are supposed to pay the interest on that. And when you are supposed to pay the interest on that, in this regard, that debt or that finance cost would reduce your EPS, which is called earning per share, which may even take your EPS to negative. As we speak, Indian rupees is approximately 82, we can say. I know there are many Einstein Edisons who are claiming that Indian rupee will back to 60. But I am not at all optimist as far as the Indian rupee is concerned. I already made a video about the Reserve Bank of India, about the India net international investment position, which is approximately minus $390 billion. Minus $390 billion, which, by the way, is a huge figure, at least to me. One thing I'm sure that if Indian aviation sector would continue to accumulate the losses the way they are accumulating from the last many years, if they continue to accumulate the debt the way they are accumulating the debt, it would be a serious trouble for them. Let's look at SpiceJet. SpiceJet is incurring losses year basis. The negative retained earnings in the book of Indigo and SpiceJet is raising my problem. I don't have the annual report of Air India because it is not listed. I don't have the annual report of Air Asia, Vistara, they are not listed. Jet Airways, although they are listed, but their operations are yet to start, so there is no point to have annual report of Jet Airways. Let them run the show and then we see. But if I look at the annual report of Indigo alongside the SpiceJet, then why reserves and surplus are negative? Negative retained earnings is a big thing in the books of any organization. In case of SpiceJet, I remember the stock price used to be around 82, 83. And as we speak, it is around 35, 34, something like this, which means it is more than 50% collapse. And unfortunately speaking, SpiceJet is incurring losses on year-on-year basis. I am concerned, rather deeply concerned, about the fiscal health of the aviation sector of India. And I knew that the video which I'm making, majority of the people do not agree with this. Just like when I warned them about Paytm, Zomato, Policy Bazaar, they not took it seriously, and now they are crying. Every second day I'm getting messages from the people when they are asking me, I'm having Policy Bazaar, I'm having Zomato, I'm having this, I'm having that, and I never reply their messages, because from the last 2 to 3 years I am consistently saying in the public domain that a company who not been able to deliver profit since inception, I repeat, since inception, then how can you even assume that once they become listed, they would start giving you profit? But nonetheless, people not understood it. Now they are paying the heavy price of that. To conclude, I am deeply concerned about the fiscal health of the aviation sector. My definition of fiscal health is altogether different than the definition used by the media. I know that our media is really not interested to highlight this issue. I know that. But having said that, I am telling you one thing: if this trend persists for another few years, say couple of years, we can say, this would have serious issues for the Indian aviation sector. Please do understand that fiscal health is very important. All organizations of the globe, current, historical, who ignored the fiscal health, they end up losing. And this is a precedent. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number, 9899242978. 9899242978. Thank you very much, guys. To conclude, I just have to say one thing, which is very clear and upfront. I'm not at all bullish on the aviation sector for the time being. The sole technological reason for not bullish is the strength of the balance sheet. To me, it hardly matters how many views, like, dislike, comments I get on this video. To me, it hardly make any difference, let it be honest. But like Lord Shiva said, that big powers come with big responsibility. Similarly, if I'm able to envisage, I always upload the video. People who wanted to take it, they take it. People who wanted to ignore it, please ignore this. It hardly make any difference to me. You give me any views, counts and all, it hardly make any difference. That's what I can say. But remember that my prediction of 2018 on SoftBank, and subsequently many predictions, every prediction turned true. Every prediction turned true. And you know that nowadays what is happening in the Indian capital market. You know what is happening. Anyways, this is Rahul Magan. Thank you.